Hello Mzansi, sanamukela la kwa Dijo Le Bophelo on SABC2 where you belong. This is your favorite show. Ngoba it's the only show that deals with food consciousness and health issues. Now every week sinimeme ukuthi nisibuze noma yini enifuna ukuyazi ngokudla. Bese ke thina sithola ongqondo bethu ukuthi baphendule imibuzo yenu. Ngiyanibona lapho ku Facebook na ku Twitter na ku Instagram. You guys are interacting with us. Thank you. Namhlanje we're talking about food and weight loss. Unompumelelo Khumalo posted a video on our Instagram page with a few questions about weight loss. Ake sibuze.
Hi Dijo, igama lami uNompumelelo, and I have a few questions ngokudla and how ukuthi ngehlise weight. I really need your help.
Sesahamba sayohlangana naye uNompumelelo to learn more about her before simphendula le mbuzo wakhe.
Igama lami uNompumelelo Khumalo, ngina 23, ngihlala eSoweto. I am passionate about holistic well-being and my family. I'm a bubbly young lady okhulele Soweto, khuliso ugogo wami, and mangikhula I was a little bit spoiled ngoba ngumntwana oyi-1 between my parents. So my dad would buy me absolutely anything, sweets, chocolate. I would just sulk if I'm sad and he'd buy me like a burger, whatever I wanted. It was just there for me to just eat and indulge. And obviously being young, it didn't bother me, but when I was a teenager, I ngabona ukuthi like bengakwazi ukufaka ama knickerbocker, ama crop top like other girls. And you know, it would like, you know, it would take a special guy to just walk up to me and be like, hi, can I take you out? And I noticed with the thinner girls, like it was an everyday thing and it started to bother me. I think I've tried diets, up to 6 different diets, trying to lose weight, and angazi noma yimi or I'm not doing it properly. Dijo Le Bophelo, ngicela ningisize ukuthi ngithole indlela ukuthi ngiluze weight without ukuthi ngingene kulama diets enza ukuthi ngihlale ngilambile, ngibe depressed, ngibe miserable. Ngicela usizo lapho.
Umas breaking, we are joined by a dietitian and author, Sukudu, who will be answering imibuzo kaNompumelelo. Please join the conversation on Twitter at Dijo Le Bophelo, on Facebook Dijo Le Bophelo, or email Kabonina, dijolebophelo@sabc.co.za. Siyabuya khona manje, kodwa njengoba ngise breaking ngifuna ukwazi ukuthi wa Nompumelelo afuna ukuluze weight kangaka. Welcome back. Usasa nami la ku Dijo Le Bophelo on SABC2. Namhlanje sikhuluma ngokudla ne weight loss. We got a question from a friend on Instagram, uNompumelelo Khumalo. She wants to know exactly about that thing. Like, how do you lose weight? Do diet plans work? Our expert, she's a dietitian. She's going to be giving valuable answers to Nompumelelo's questions. But first, let's get to know our expert before we answer Nompumelelo's mbuzos. Good morning, Awesome Point. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Kabo. It's a pleasure to be here.
Before the break, we heard ukuthi Nompumelelo is frustrated. She's been trying to diet all her life. She's on her 6th diet plan, but nothing is working. She's frustrated. She's starting to think ukuthi lento le job diet is just myths. Come, have your say on Twitter at Dijo Le Bophelo or Facebook as Dijo Le Bophelo or email me dijolebophelo@sabc.co.za. So, but do diet plans actually work, or is it true what Nompumelelo is saying? She's saying they're a scam.
Diet plans do work, but I think what Nompumelelo is talking about is these crash diets, the diets that promise you to lose 5 kilograms in 1 week. These diets are generally very restrictive. They would say that don't eat certain food groups, and those food groups are healthy, and there's no actually particular reason why you should include them in your diet. You can lose a lot of weight in that 2 weeks that they promise you, but as soon as you go back to healthy eating, which is the normal way of eating, then you do gain the weight back, and you actually gain more than what you started off with before this crash diet. But if you eat healthy, you can lose weight, and you need to realize that it's a lifestyle progress, that it involves healthy mindset, it also involves exercise and eating healthy. It's not about only food, and it's about something that you can do in the long term, that when I invite you to a wedding, you should be comfortable to come to my wedding and still eat the food, and don't feel that you need to stop your social life because now you're losing weight.
I like that. It's also a mind shift thing. Let's see her next question.
What are the general causes of gainer weight?
Good question. I mean, people are always asking, why gain weight? What are the general causes of weight gain?
Weight gain is a lifestyle condition. So if we're going to look at food, we need to address issues like processed foods. A lot of the foods are highly refined and they add chemicals in them which may not be healthy for the body. Also, a lot more foods have sugar in them. Everything now is sweetened. Everything has colorants, they have preservatives. And also, there's a lot of products that have trans fats in them. Trans fats is the fat that comes from cooking vegetable oils at high temperatures for a long time, like fried chips, fried fish, fried chicken, that cause such a big weight gain in people, and it's what people consume on a daily basis, and they don't realize that these foods are unhealthy.
See, that's why I like you. Next question.
These are the foods that I eat on a daily basis. Do they contribute to me gaining weight? Isinkwe brownie, sugar-free cool drink, fruit juice, ubisi, and yogurt.
Yes. So things that you eat, and these are general things that people eat. So ojaborot. So tell me, kaborot in terms of weight gain.
Bread is made out of wheat, but if you look at wheat the way it appears in nature, wheat is a high fiber product, it's a whole grain. But by the time that it makes bread, it's already been processed. The fiber, which is the healthy part of the wheat, has been taken out. So this is actually empty calories. There's a lot of sugar in here. There isn't fiber, the minerals have been stripped out. So you're basically eating plain sugar.
And would you say about babajang boroto white is even worse?
There's not actually much difference between white bread and brown
Shut
bread.
up your face.
Yes.
Please explain to them.
Because then look at this bread, it's actually mostly white. The fiber content is very little.
Yes.
And it's also high in salt, actually. Bread is very high in salt.
So which is killing you.
Yes.
And then Ariana, babang barikona, no, I don't drink fizzy drinks, I drink more juice. Please explain the sweet and the sugar content and everything in here which amounts to weight gain.
Okay. That 500 ml bottle of cool drink has 14 teaspoons of sugar. It doesn't matter what the brand is. It's basically 14 teaspoons of sugar in 500 ml of water and colorants. So it does actually lead to weight gain. Even if you're running a marathon, you will not need 14 teaspoons of sugar as energy.
So the only thing that's good in here is a little bit of water that's there.
Yes, but you still need that extra water to process the sugar.
So you're killing yourself.
Yes.
Okay, talk juice, because Baba Gatabare, at least quinoa juice, because I'm a slimmer. I can fizzy drink, but at least quinoa juice.
The thing that people don't understand with juice is that a portion of fruit is about a tennis ball size. If I squeeze juice out of that, I'm going to get about 100 to 125 ml of juice. That is the same amount of sugar in that tennis ball size fruit is in 125 ml juice. But a lot more people drink a can or even that glass of juice that has about 3 fruits in them. So that's 9 teaspoons of sugar. So if you think about I'm giving you 3 oranges and you eat them and you finish them and I say to you, let me give you that amount of juice. That is actually the same amount of calories, but it doesn't fill you up the same. You will not eat 3 oranges at the same sitting, but we tend to drink a can of juice at the same sitting.
So is it too concentrated?
It's too concentrated. But the nice thing with the fruit is that your body's still going to digest that fiber and extract its own juice. Whereas with the juice, the machine has already done the job. So the sugar level from the fruit is a slight movement, whereas from the juice, because there's no work, it actually elevates. So juice is something that you have once in a while, but in 125 ml.
So this is too much?
That is for 3 people.
So guys, okay, she also has something here, yogurt. Now I remember this in school, I used to think, must man eat yogurt in healthy. until I learned better. But I think, Calorie, educate.
Yogurt is healthy. It is made mainly from milk. But if you have yogurt, you have to have plain yogurt. The one that is milk, then it was processed by bacteria to become acidic, so that's yogurt. That yogurt here is sweetened yogurt. In a little tub of about 175 grams, you can get about 4 teaspoons of sugar in that. So the sugar in there is the bad thing. The yogurt on its own is healthy.
Yes.
There's very little fruit, even though some are written fruit yogurt.
Yeah.
There's actually yogurt with sugar and dye and very little fruit. So yogurt has to be plain.
So I noticed the trend here. So even with the bread, you talked about the high sugar content, high in sugar and salt content, sugar here, sugar there.
Yes.
I've been saying sugar is poison. But unamang, how can sugar be poison? Please tell them why is sugar. Why is really poison?
Sugar is a nutrient that we need in our body for us to function, for me to breathe, for you to walk, exercise, and to sleep. But because then almost all foods that we eat have sugar in them, like the beans, the lentils, if
Natural
you have rice,
sugar.
natural sugar.
Yes.
If you're having whole grain sorghum, if you're having brown rice or the basmati rice, if you're having whole grain corn, that is actually sugar. When it gets into the body, your body is going to digest that grain like in a cup of sweet corn to extract its own sugar. So the sugar is released in a slow and steady rate. The body is very happy. This sugar is highly processed. It's not as complex as the one that you get in whole grain natural foods. So when it gets into the body, because there's no work for the body to do, it increases the blood glucose level very quickly.
There's no work for the body to do. Because the machines or the process has already done it for the body.
Yes, you're right. So the body gets a high rush of sugar.
Yes.
It gets very scared. The natural thing to do is to take all that sugar and turn it into fat. The fat is the one that sits around here and here and here. Yes, and it goes to the thighs, everywhere else.
Yes.
Because the body just needs a constant level of blood sugar level. It doesn't need a high amount. The high amount immediately says something is wrong. Then the process is to turn that sugar into fat.
And what about these sugar-free fizzy drinks? Please tell me about those. Are those good?
The truth is, yes, there is no sugar inside. But the molecules that they put in there, those
Thank you. Indabida. Please go on.
The non-nutritive sweeteners that are in there actually raise the blood sugar level because they interfere with the healthy bacteria that you have in here. They also lie to your body. In the long run, your body doesn't know what is sweet and what is not sweet. So you tend to start craving more sweet things, which in the long run makes you gain weight.
Yes.
So it's not a natural form of sugar, so it should be avoided. Try to have water instead of the unsweetened drinks.
Sompo, what are the alternatives to this here?
Bread?
Yes.
Bread should be made out of whole grain wheat. So your seeded breads, some of them have nuts in them, some of them have seeds, and you can see the color that they're very dark and they're much heavier than these ones, which are much more lighter. So that's a healthier type of bread.
So you gave me the alternative to this, it's water.
Yes. Or you can have rooibos. Rooibos it's healthy, but please don't add sugar, don't add milk.
Yes.
You can flavor it with lemon juice or with slices of lemons, with strawberries, with cucumber, with mint.
Beautiful.
Or you now have flavored ones inside the store that you can buy next to the normal tea that you buy.
A little bit of honey. It's too sweet.
Honey is sugar. So it depends. So, 1 cup in a day, that's fine. But if you're going to drink 2 liters of rooibos throughout the day, each with a teaspoon of sugar, it does add up.
Then I'll stick to green tea because then there's no sugar, there's nothing.
Yes.
Okay. And then, so the same thing here with the juice.
Juice, we drink water, then we have a fruit.
And then with yogurt, we go plain yogurt.
We go plain yogurt, unsweetened. If you want a little bit of sugar, it's better to add a chopped fruit.
Yes.
Or you can add raisins in there.
Beautiful.
Or to just add flavor in that.
Quickly with raisins. Raisins, I was told they're also too sweet. Does it depend on what kind of raisins?
No. Remember, raisin is a dried grape.
Yes.
A grape is this big. I dry it, then I make a raisin. It's a little one.
Yes.
That is the same amount of sugar as that. So you get a portion of grape is in a cup, they're about 15. If I dry them, they're about 2 teaspoons.
Okay.
So amount of sugar in a grape, a cup, is in 2 teaspoons of grapes.
Okay.
So you don't scoop and...
Nayogi problem.
That means you eat in the whole tray.
Do you see the portion control thing?
Yes.
It's a portion control. Okay, great. I love it. We've got alternatives. I love this.
We do.
Okay, next question.
ngifuna ukwazi ukuthi khona ukudla engazami ukudla okungangisiza ukuthi nginciphise weight mhlawumbe ukudla okungconywana than what I eat every day.
I don't know. Are there foods that will help her lose weight?
There aren't specific foods that are going to make you lose weight. If you're eating healthy foods, if you're eating whole grain foods, if you're eating lentils, if you're eating a lot more vegetables, if you're eating potatoes with the skin, if you're eating healthy meats instead of the processed Viennas and Russians and polony, that food actually gives the body the message that you are taking care of it. So it's easier to lose the weight.
So it's not actually foods that make you lose weight. It's what you said earlier on. It's your lifestyle. You changing your lifestyle and eating the right foods, then your body will respond to that.
Yes, healthy food will make you lose weight. A healthy diet will make you lose weight. But if you don't eat healthy, then the body doesn't know how to process and how to work. It also affects your energy levels.
Mpo, you have brought some food which we eat on a regular basis, né? And people don't realize how much kilojoules are in these foods and how much we need to do to actually burn these kilojoules. So before you actually go on about this burger, what are kilojoules?
Kilojoules is a way that we measure the energy that we need. So we would say that for your body type and the type of exercise that you do, you burn this much calories for the day, kilojoules. Then we tell you this is how much you need to eat to lose the weight or to maintain or to gain the weight. Okay. So it's a measure of energy.
I see, because whenever I buy something, I look the nutritional information, it does say energy, and then I see a huge number.
Yes.
So that's a scare.
Yes.
Okay, talk about this.
This burger is made out of white bread, which is unhealthy because the nutrients, which are mainly from the fiber, have been stripped out of it. Most people then would have this for lunch. They would have it with cheese, which is processed, which is not the healthy type of the cheese to be having. They have it with a packet of chips on the side, and they have it with a can of soda. That can actually give you about 6,000 kilojoules for the day, for that meal that you're having. That's about exercising, like walking for about 5 hours at a very high pace.
Wow.
That's a lot of energy
Burning these kilojoules
to be eating, yes, at one sitting.
Okay, I know other people love this. Pizza is a favorite. Pizza. I heard, tell me if I'm wrong, 1,200 kilojoules in here.
Sometimes it can be more.
Really?
Depending on what you put. So if it's made out of white bread, then you put cheese. Then some people put mince in it. Then there is Viennas and all of those other high-fat foods that they put inside. So that can give you, yes, about 1,200 kilojoules. That's an equivalent of mowing the lawn actually with your hands for about an hour.
Not on the machine.
Not on the machine, the one that you're kneeling down and sweating and exercising.
So this we need to know, because this we see on a daily basis. Talk about this.
That is actually pap. So that's about 2 portion sizes of pap in one plate. And pap actually has no nutrients in it, except for the starch, because you can see it's white. Then you have a big portion of meat on the side. It's very high in fat. So that amount of energy you'd actually need to be cycling, like indoor cycling, for about 90 to 100 minutes at a very high intensity pace.
Now you need to double that if you eat this for lunch and eat it for supper.
That's actually, most people would have this for breakfast, then this is lunch, and this is for supper.
Done deal. This is actually what it looks like.
You actually ate 3 times the amount of energy that you ate, that you need in most people for an average lady in one day.
Now this,
it's a lot of energy in there. It's made out of refined flour, there's a lot of sugar, there's margarine, there's cream. So that actually is a lot of energy that you'd actually need about 90 minutes of very high intensity, like running at a very high pace, to burn it off. So it's not something that you should eat on a daily basis. Actually, half of it can be a portion after Sunday lunch.
So you choose to share, like when I know Minana or when I know Bay or when I know Spanbanyan, even Karen, maybe even into 4.
Yes.
So looking at all these foods and all these kilojoules and all of this, I think Mpumelelo is making a common mistake, like a lot of people that are making. What would you want to say to her?
I would want to say to her that if you eat food, try to get food as close to nature as possible. So instead of eating a burger with white bread, try a whole grain seeded bread. Then choose the type of filling that you have. So use cheese, then use more vegetables, then use healthy portion of meat inside. If you're going to eat a cake is something that everybody loves. I also like it.
You
but
do?
Yes, I do. But it's a treat. It's once in a while.
Yes.
If you do pizzas, choose healthier alternative. Put more chicken, put pepper juice, and put the vegetarian pizzas. Put avocado, healthier options on it, and have a salad on the side that fills you up than 4 slices of pizza.
Yes.
If you're going to choose a starch portion, sorghum, which is a South African ingredient, which is very healthy, is much more better to eat than maize meal barb. If you're choosing that portion also, it's quite big, halve it, and then use morojo or spinach or tomato and onion gravy or a salsa to actually fill you up. So these foods can be used as long as you just choose healthier ingredients and the portion sizes are actually healthy.
So in conclusion, it's a lifestyle change.
Yes.
And portion control.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Mpho. I know Nompumelelo appreciates this, so do I. Ingabe khona okuthiza la kule ngxoxo yami, Nompho? Come on, tweet me at Dijo Le Bophelo or email me dijolebophelo@sabc.co.za, or you can send me an Instagram showing me your plate, which is more weight loss nyana. You understand? This interview is posted on YouTube for Nompumelelo to watch and take some notes. Now you can also log on and watch us there. Look for us on our YouTube page, SABC Education. Look for Dijo Le Bophelo. We are right there. After the break, we travel back to Nompumelelo to find out what she has learned from my interview with an expert about all of this and losing weight. Welcome back. Sisasa sonke la ku Dijo Le Bophelo on SABC2. When we met Nompumelelo earlier in the show, ebefuna ukwazi ukuthi yini lento emvimbayo when she wants to lose weight. She has seen a conversation Nompo to go to online. I can sibuyele kuye and find out what she's picked up from ingxoxo yethu. Maybe this helped her?
I just want to thank Dijo Le Bophelo for making me realize ukuthi for lasting loss of weight, I actually need to, change my relationship with food. Bengazi ukuthi my everyday food, like isinkwa and juice and sugar-free cool drinks, actually contain a lot of sweetness, which then transforms into fat emzimbeni wami, making me gain a lot of weight. From now on, ngizohlukana nje nama processed foods, ama pizza, ama-burgers, konke lokudla kunamafutha noshukela omningi. Ngizozama ukuthi ngidle ama-fruit nama-veggie kwenzela ukuthi ngehlisa i-weight kancane, ngigade ne-portion size. Instead of having like iplate elikhulu, ngizama ukudla nje kancane kancane kwenzela ukuthi i-weight yami yehle nayo. So from now on, I know ukuthi nje losing weight will be a simple thing, and gaining weight will then be a thing of the past.
Yaze yaphele show yethu namhlanje. Kodwa ningastress, niyazi ukuthi siyaqhubeka ngengxoxo on social media. So vele unglahlele nje ku Twitter uthi @Dijo Le Bophelo on Facebook or ung-email dijolebophelo@sabc.co.za. Ngizonithola da khona manje. Bakithi ningakhohlwa ukuthi le show le yenzelwe nina ukuthi nikhululeke nisibuze zonke bonke mayelana nokudla. Phela ngaphandle kwemibuzo yenu awudololo iDijo Le Bophelo. So please sibuzeni ku social media, nis-email, nifake amatekweni, nigijime nepostini, nisilahlele ngencwadi. Kwazi bani mhlambe your question will be the one selected for next week's show. Masihlangane la kwa SABC2 for more Dijo Le Bophelo. Same place, same time. Ngizonithola yi